If you are struggling in elite rank in Fortnite Chapter 5, this is the video for you. I will give you guys tips and tricks on how you can gain the most percentage in each rank you play. No matter if you're a passive player or a person that likes W King everybody, I will give the best tips to get out of elite and to hit champion and beyond. Now, let's get into the video. The first tip I will give you guys is master a drop spot. It doesn't have to be a POI, it can literally be a spot on the outside of the map. Make sure it's a spot with a decent amount of chests, materials, and heals, so you can come out of your spot ready to fight with 555 materials, max heals, and good weapons. If you don't have a specific spot, my last video talked about what spot you should drop at. It's called How to Get Out of Diamond Rank in Chapter 5. Go to 155 in the video and see what spots you can land at. After you figure out what spot you want to land at, make sure to practice that spot in a normal battle royale game. You also want to make sure you have rotations after you leave your drop spot. Always have a few rotations in mind when you finish up at your spot so you can be advancing your game and set yourself up good for mid game. Okay, for example guys, look at this. So I like landing at this house right here, okay, these couple houses, and I like rotating here. Then after I loot up here, I go all the way over here to fencing to get the medallion, or if someone already has a medallion, I go fight that person for the medallion. So you want to always make sure you have rotations after you land at your POI. Like always have a plan, always have a plan B too. So for example, if the medallion's enemy here and the guy already left, I obviously would not go to fencing. I would probably go to Snooty to try to get the other medallion. The next tip I'll give you guys is take smart fights. Most players don't think about when fighting somebody. They don't have awareness. For example, if you push somebody in the middle of the zone with the medallion, so everybody knows where you are because the medallion shows your area of where you are, and they don't cover themselves when fighting somebody. They don't use situational awareness. Always keep in mind what fights you are taking and think about, is this going to benefit me? Sometimes you don't need to take fights because you already have max mats and amazing loot. You can sometimes third-party people from a distance, so you can get some free kills. If you have 0 kills with 20 people left, you have to go push people and get in some fights, so you can gain percentage when the game is over. Make sure you have 3 kills before going into endgame. The way you can get the easiest kills is rotating dead side. Not many rotate dead side, and that's what makes it so good, because most of the time you won't get third partied when fighting somebody on the dead side of zone. Still keep in mind when fighting to be aware of third parties, so cover yourself and box yourself when fighting. Don't build fight because you will attract people by seeing the massive build fight you are having with your opponent 300 feet in the air. Keep fights low and play boxes. Even when a player is trying to get high ground on you, keep knocking them down and try to piece him up. The third tip I'll give you guys is to play for the win. I'm not saying to camp endgame and get 1 or 2 kills and win the game, but you need to play smart and only take certain fights. The only fights you should take is obviously the ones off spawn, so you can get some kills and loot up. Another reason, if you are shambles, you don't have good loot, you don't want to go into endgame with bad loot because you are at a massive disadvantage and more likely won't win the game. The other reason is if you can clean up a third party or third party yourself. When you fight a third party, you want to clean up the fight fast as you can so you won't get third partied. So when you're taking fights, make sure they don't carry on for too long, or you will get third or even maybe fourth partied. The perfect way you want to play a game is fight off spawn if people are at your spot. Then don't fight mid-game, only shoot from a distance from people that are having build fights or box fights, just depending on the situation. Then play for the win in endgame. Always rotate first when it comes to moving zones so you can hold players in zone. The last and final tip I'll give you guys is have a good mindset. Always have a mindset of, I'm going to win every fight. You need to have an ego, but you still need to take smart fights. Make sure to take good peeks, smart edits that don't expose you, and just hit your shots. You will have those days that you aren't playing the best, you might just keep dying on spawn and just struggling. It's okay to get off or just to take a break from it, because if you're going to keep playing and dying, you'll only just do more damage by digging yourself in a bigger hole. Not every day will be the best, but what you can control is how your mindset is, and always keep it positive. That is all I have for you guys today. I know it's kind of short, but I hope these tips really did help you, and if they did, make sure to drop a sub. We're almost at 4 subs, so I appreciate everybody that's been watching my videos. The content will only keep getting better and better, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!